Confucius Institutes are language schools set up around the world with the help of the Chinese government. But there have been concerns they're being used by the Chinese regime to spread propaganda. One area that has drawn attention is its discriminatory hiring practices, which has led to a university in Canada deciding to shut down its Confucius Institute.
Canadian human rights lawyer David Matus lauded McMaster University for closing down its Confucius Institute over discriminatory hiring practices. Matus is representing Sonia Zhao. She's a Chinese teacher who had to sign a contract saying she would not practice Falun Gong to work at the Confucius Institute. The institutes are partly funded by the Chinese government. It's the same government that has been persecuting the Falun Gong spiritual discipline since 1999.
What the University of McMaster at Hamilton did, which was the attempt to get an assurance from Hanban that they would drop the discrimination, which they didn't, and then discontinue once they refused to give it, is an example every host of Confucius Institute should follow, absolutely.
McMaster University announced on February 7th it would close its Confucius Institute once the current term ends in summer. The institutes are organized by Hanban, a non-profit based in Beijing with ties to the Chinese government. There are more than 300 of these language schools around the world. They usually come with generous donations to the hosting foreign schools.
I think the case has global importance because these Confucius Institutes exist all over the world, and the hiring is done in China, and the hiring is discriminatory against Falun Gong, and these institutes are many of them in universities around the world that respect democratic principles and the principle of equality.
Sonia Zhao, who practices Falun Gong, said she had to hide her beliefs from her co-workers and was afraid to be herself. She filed a human rights complaint with the school in 2012. Matus represented Zhao in a mediation session with McMaster University on February 14th. He says negotiations are still ongoing.